Well, hello. Welcome back to our channel. This is Shelf Possessed, and I am just Craig. I wanted to kind of do a little thing. It is, as I'm speaking, the end of May. And school is officially over as of today. So no more school for me for a little while. And this is kind of my first weekend of like relaxation and like, you know, just nothing to do.
He moved like a magnet, wearing holes in the carpet, counting steps to the back porch, same song from the screen door. He was a score on a mountain, waiting for a sign of rain. Card horse with his head down, devoted to a way of being, but he broke wide open like a bird in spring, with a divine potion made of love and pain. He was really living, yeah man, all the way, with a deep emotion made of love and pain. She lived in the panic, made a home with the sirens, couldn't make it off the front porch, red flag behind each door. She held a scar like an aspen, golden by her age, high horse with her head back, devoted to what should have been, but she broke wide open like a bird in spring, with a deep potion made of love and pain. She was really living, yeah man, all the way, with a deep emotion made of love and pain.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it and do like a 48-hour readathon. I'm just gonna try and get 3 books read in 2 days, and just see if I can just spend the entire day reading. That's all. That's all I was gonna do. I was like, this is the way I wanted to spend my summer. This is the way I want to handle this. All summer, I just want to like lounge around and read. So let's kick it off big. Let's kick it off strong. So this will be a 48-hour readathon vlog where I'm going to attempt to read 3 books in 2 days and try to do nothing else. So we'll kind of see if that ends up working out for me. I don't know if it will, but you'll see some footage kind of interspersed through this whole video of what we've been up to the last few days, which I'll kind of show just to kind of give you a good glimpse into our little lives. I attended graduation, we did some shopping, like just a couple of things, like just light things, you know, but the majority of the time I'm going to be spending it here at home and reading. So yeah, When I woke up this morning, though, you can probably hear it in my voice, I don't feel super great today. So I'm like, did I pick the wrong weekend to do this? Like, was this a mistake? I think it actually makes more sense for me to just like lay in bed and read. Like, that's gonna make me feel better than anything else anyway. So today I am going to run a few errands with David. We need to pick up some stuff from Target and from the grocery store. And then I am going to go swing by and pick up a COVID test just to be safe, because I feel like I have a cold of some sort, and the days that we live in now, you don't know if is it a cold or is it something else. So I'm gonna do that, take that test when we get home, and then I'm gonna like launch into my reading time. So I'm gonna try and spend all of today and all of tomorrow reading. And I thought I would take obviously the beginning of here to introduce the books that I'm gonna try and read. So you've seen at least one of these. You saw one of these in our recent book haul that we just put out, but I am going to try to tackle My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing, which I'm super excited to read. I just got the audiobook for it, so I'm hoping I can kind of power through this pretty quickly. It's not super long, but it is a thriller that is definitely up my alley. So I'm excited to read this one. It's, Mr. and Mrs. Smith meets Dexter, which I'm like, a murderous couple, and like, then they turn on each other. Yeah, so I'm going to do my best to read that one this weekend. The next one I'm going to read is one David actually just finished, and then I actually bought it for him, but then he just finished it, and it just came out on Tuesday. And I've been like really jonesing to read this since I first heard about it. And that is Kirsten White's Hyde, which is about like a reality show that's like in an amusement park, but it's like the ultimate hide and seek game, and it turns a little deadly. So it has like a little bit of Hunger Games going on, a little bit of some, like social criticism of our own, like, obsession with reality television. And it's a very slight read. So it's like, what is it? Less than 250 pages. So I'm pretty sure I can get this one knocked out as well, which I'm excited about. And I think David had some mixed thoughts on it, so I'll be curious to kind of form my own opinions and see if I like it. I also know a few of my other friends are reading this book this weekend as well, so I'll be curious to kind of share my thoughts with them and see what they think. And the last book that I'm going to try and tackle this weekend is Amy McCulloch's Breathless, which I think was a Book of the Month book this month, but I'm not entirely certain. I don't have Book of the Month at the moment, but this is a thriller that is set on like the top of a mountain, and this woman is like doing this mountain climbing expedition, and people start to die. So it's like, again, very isolated, but then people are getting, picked off. But I was like, I've never read a thriller that's like set on a mountaintop while people are mountain climbing. And that sounds really interesting to me as well. So those are the three books that I am looking to tackle this weekend. I'm going to see if I can get these knocked out and see how I feel. Hopefully just laying around and reading these is going to make me feel better, and I won't have to get any sicker. I am loading myself up on zinc and vitamin C and all the things to help kind of reduce whatever this is. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So yeah, welcome to the vlog. It's going to be pretty chill, pretty low key. That's kind of my goal for the weekend. So we'll see how it goes. I'll be back soon.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you.
Oh god, this is a terrible angle. But our bathroom is so small, so it's just the only place I can put it. So I just had lunch, as I said before, and then I am going to do my COVID test, and I'm really, really, really hoping that it comes back negative. Like, I've managed to kind of squeeze by without having it yet over the course of this time. So I know it's only a matter of time before I get it. But I'm gonna do this really quick off camera because nobody needs to see that. And once I do this, then I am moving right there and I'm gonna lay down and read. So I'll check back in so you know how it goes. So we'll see. Wish me luck.
One eternity later.
Okay, it's been 15 minutes. If you've done that swab is like, it is the absolute worst thing in the world. So, and then the waiting 15 minutes to see the results is also not great either. So I'm gonna flip my test over. It's right here. I'm gonna see what it is, and oh, thank God. That is a negative test. I was so nervous, mostly because I've managed to escape, having COVID until now. But obviously that's not even the case now, which is great. But also it's probably just a summer cold of some sort, because that tends to happen to me, especially once the school year is over. Like, my body is like, oh, all the stress is gone. Guess what? Now we can just have fun. And then it's just like, immediately zaps me with some sort of cold. So I'm just gonna kind of take it easy and lounge and start reading. So I'll see you soon. Interesting. I'm gonna form more thoughts on this a little bit later, but I don't mind it right now. Like, I think it's actually pretty good. The concept, I think, is really interesting, and the characters are written really well. What is surprising me is it's more than halfway through, and it's more about their children than it is anything else. And so I'm kind of curious why that is the way it is. But essentially, this is a man and a woman who've been married for a little while, and they have 2 kids, 2 teenagers, and they like to find women and murder them. And it all started with the wife's sister, and then kind of, progresses out from there. And they're basically trying to pin their murders on a retired serial killer who never actually got brought to justice and is still kind of out in the world. But one of their kids is quite frightened of this serial killer, and it's causing some problems in their home. So that is interesting. I just don't quite understand why that is the case. So let's see, where did I end up? I'm on almost page 300, and there's 375 pages in here. So I've been just sitting here for 2 hours basically just reading. So I've gotten pretty far through the book, and I think I'll finish it probably this afternoon, more than likely. So my hope is I'll be back tonight to kind of talk more about it, and then once I finish this, I'm going to jump right into Hide and see where I end up. So yeah, we'll see you soon. been up for a little too long, but feeling just the tiniest bit better today. And last night I kind of crawled into bed a little early, and I finished My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. And my feelings in the middle were, I was enjoying it, but it felt like a little slow, which, given now how I got to the end, I understand that. I mean, ultimately, I think the description in the flap kind of gives it away. It kind of tells you what to expect, not in every way. Like, it doesn't give away the twist or anything like that, but I found the twist to actually be quite interesting. And the ending, the last 50 to 75 pages were actually really great. Though I do feel like the actual like end was a little unsatisfying, but it does kind of leave things opened a little bit, which I appreciate and I understand. I mean, ultimately the story is about like, can we trust the people that, even the people that we marry? Like, even though we think we know their intentions, we don't actually know their intentions. So that part I think is really interesting. The other big thing that I liked about this book was how it unfolded, you know. I liked how information was parsed out. I liked how we kind of got to know this couple. In reality, I guess we only got to know the husband because the wife, it's not told from the wife's perspective, it's told from the husband's perspective. So you get to see her through him, basically, which, I mean, I think that's the intention of the book, but the only thing I didn't really like was the focus on the children as much. Like, I mean, I think it's there to show you that the husband is compassionate and empathetic and understanding and loves his children, even though that he and his wife both, don't want to commit murder. And that says something about him, I guess, which is good. But also, the middle chunk of the book is mostly focusing on their relationship with their kids and why their kids are behaving in the way that they're behaving, and how that behavior is basically tied back to their actions. And then there's a lot of discussion about how that ultimately affects their kids, and then how it affects their marriage, which I think was actually really interesting. But maybe that's just me. Part of me wanted, this is gonna sound terrible, but I wanted a little bit more of a murderer stuff. Like, if you're gonna tell me that these two people like to commit murder, the murders are kind of backseat. The actual, I don't want gore or descriptions of that. I want more experience with that, and so that was odd to me. But it didn't distract. I think this is a solid 4-star book for me. If I was gonna give it a star rating, probably an A-, B+ for me, more than likely. It does make me want to read some more Samantha Downing, and I have For Your Own Good, and I just recently got the audio for He Started It, and I think I'm gonna buy that and read that sometime soon. So I'm curious about that a little bit. But I liked the writing. I liked the structure of the story. I think that was actually really, really nice. And I'm just curious to read more. So yeah, first book of this 48-hour readathon, check, done. I've been binging ContraPoints on YouTube. If you don't know who ContraPoints is, she is a trans creator on YouTube who is both a comedian but also a social commentary, political commentary channel, and it's insanely watchable. The production values of her videos, the way that she creates her videos, I'm just in awe of the amount of work that I know that it takes, and I'm sure that's only just the surface of the work that goes into creating these videos. But she recently just created one called The Hunger, which is about how we fill the voids in our life, and what actually is at the base of the voids that we have. And I love her videos. They're funny, but also when you dissect what she's actually saying, there's a lot of real, gut punching stuff. So I'll link ContraPoints in the description box below if you're curious. But Her videos are a little bit of a task because they're quite long sometimes. Like the one I watched this morning was about an hour. So that shows you, and she doesn't post, you know, every other week or every week. She posts like once every month or two because of how much work it takes. So I was really enjoying that this morning, really enjoying my coffee. And so once I finished My Lovely Wife, I did start Hyde last night, and I'm about 70 pages in, and I don't know yet. We'll see. I think the concept is really cool. The concept is very interesting. After Elizabeth mentioned, who's reading Riley, after she mentioned Fantastic Land, we saw this one online, and it, you know, it's set in an abandoned amusement park. So there's some ties to Fantastic Land, though at the moment, I think Fantastic Land is better. This is essentially about these group of young people who are recruited to do a reality show. They're playing hide and seek in this abandoned amusement park, and then there are seekers who will find them. And the place where I am right now, they finished their first day of hiding, and it does kind of follow all of them, like where they're hiding and why they're choosing it. And then they get back to camp at night and they find that 2 people are missing, and because they've been found, and when you're found, you're just taken away. So, I mean, I have some predictions as to where I think it will go. I mean, I think obviously if people are being found, and then they're just not there anymore, and they have no way of contacting them, I feel like they're probably dead, right? I mean, that's like the natural inclination, I think, to assume. So, I just finished day 1. I'm gonna try the audio. This is a very short book, so, and the audio with the speed that I'm listening to it on while I'm following along, it says I should be done in a couple hours. So, I'm gonna read until David wakes up and then see where that takes us. But my goal is to finish this morning and to start Breathless this afternoon. And then by tomorrow morning, I should be able to have finished Breathless, and then all 3 of my books will be finished for this readathon. It's me. I'm awake. I thought I would pop on and just do a little check-in on my progress. I have really felt like absolute garbage today. I feel better now than I felt earlier today, but for the most part still feel like garbage. So that's not great. And that has kind of prohibited my desire to read. So this morning I read a little bit, and then we watched like 4 episodes of Stranger Things. So then I got tired, so I fell back asleep, for a few hours. And I read a little bit before I fell asleep, and then I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, I need to read again. I need to keep reading. So I've been reading now for an hour or so. And I am more than 3/4 of the way through Hyde. And I wasn't enjoying it at first, for sure, because I didn't really understand what was going on. And maybe I was not as focused at the beginning as I should have been, because I probably missed some stuff. Sorry, this blanket is huge. I'm just gonna wrap it around myself. So yeah, I wasn't paying as much attention at the beginning as I probably should have, because I did probably miss some stuff for sure. But as it's progressed and as I've started to kind of get invested in some of the characters and the stories a little bit, it's things that started to click into place and make sense. I don't love it like as much as I thought I would based on the premise. I mentioned Fantastic Land earlier, and I actually think for like an abandoned amusement park, if that's the kind of vibe that you're looking for, like, you should read that one. This one isn't like, it's not doing all of it for me yet. I still have about 70 pages left, so we'll see how that goes. I should finish it today. And then I'm gonna start Breathless by Amy McCulloch, and hopefully get that done soon. Like, 4 hours of reading. And this book is obviously quite short, like it's very little, and I should be able to finish it within the next 45 minutes, I would imagine. So then I'm gonna finish Hyde, and then I hope maybe I can convince David to order dinner, and then we'll watch the rest of Stranger Things, and then go to bed, so I can feel better tomorrow. Book down. I feel good that I've been able to accomplish this all on top of being like, not great health-wise. But I finished Hyde just like 5 minutes ago. So I think David will talk about his, because he read it first, because I technically bought it for him. He'll talk about his feelings. I think we have some similar feelings, but some different feelings, because we both read it. You heard in my other parts of this vlog that I did not like the beginning, because I didn't feel like I fully understood what was going on. And I think maybe that was on purpose. Like, I think that's intentional. The author is trying to, like, make you think it's one thing, but it's actually not. And some things develop as the book continues, that were actually really intriguing and really fun. I will talk about this more in depth in like a few minutes. So if you are wanting to avoid spoilers for Hyde, I will put it on the screen so you can skip forward. But essentially it's set up as this group of strangers who are asked to come to this like abandoned amusement park for like a hide and seek competition reality show. And as they are there, people start to disappear and they don't really understand why. And then the people that are left decide that they want to get out, and try to win. And they are still thinking that it's, this thing. So here's where I will put spoilers. So I will talk about the end of the book a little bit. So if you want to avoid spoilers for Hyde, skip on forward. But when it's revealed that that it's not human beings that are killing them for like sport or fun or whatever, it's actually like a monster, I was shocked in both a good and bad way. I was like, a monster? Like, that's not what I expected by any means. That's not the kind of turn that I expected the book to make. But as it was explained, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate that as an explanation. I didn't hate that as a reasoning, especially because some of the mythology was explained, which I appreciate. Though I still walk away from the book feeling like I don't fully understand the mythology of why this thing happens and why it exists, but I understand it enough to like buy in basically. David and I talked about the ending a little bit, and the ending does feel a little bit like it just kind of stops, like it's just over. I understand it, and I actually don't mind the ending because I was kind of surprised by the choice that the remaining three characters make at the end to essentially, rather than like sacrifice themselves or find new sacrifices, they instead decide to like let an evil out into the world, which I think is actually really interesting as a concept. My fear is that that is done because this is going to become a series. I don't think this book warrants a book series necessarily. I think this is actually too short in a lot of ways. I think there's a lot of things that could have been explained more. Like if I'm looking at it from a star rating perspective, I'm like between a 3.5 and a 4, somewhere in there. Which I don't think is bad. It's a B, I enjoyed the second half much more than I enjoyed the first half, especially because I kind of understood what was going on in the second half. So that made it better for me. I was shocked by a couple of things. The monster reveal as a big part, and like the way it ended was another big part. I really appreciated there's this journal, like diary thing that kind of traverses through the years from like the 40s, the 20s to the 2023 basically, for like 100 years, and that does a number of that does a lot of the work in explaining why, which I thought was smart and good. So you didn't have so much to worry about that way. But yeah, I mean, it was a perfectly fine book. Like it did not blow me away. It's not like the best horror book I've ever read. And I actually thought people were calling this a thriller, but it is significantly a horror book. It's not like gory or gross, but it's definitely a horror book. So if that's your vibe, like you should check out Hyde for sure. So 2 books down, 1 to go. I'm gonna hopefully start Breathless tonight, and see how far I can get through that. I said this earlier, but I really, today I felt worse than I felt yesterday, in a lot of ways. And so I felt like I wasn't going to get as much reading done. So I was really happy to finish this. I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow. I'm hoping that today is the worst of it, and I can move on, We're going to see a concert this week. I'm taking David to see Tori Amos for the first time. He's never seen her, and this is like my 5th or 6th time seeing her. So I want to be good for that, and we'll take you along too. We'll show you some footage from the concert, which will be great. So I'll check back in with you in the morning, and we'll see how it goes. So. As a person with no muffler decides to drive by. Good morning. Another day, another sleigh, as they say. I woke up this morning, and today's actually the first day where I don't feel like warmed over garbage, so that's a good thing. And today's really the last kind of like my last chance. So I was going to come and quickly kind of update you on my progress. So as you've been following along so far, I finished My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing and Hyde by Kirsten White. And I had one other book planned, and that is Amy McCulloch's Breathless, which I am in the process of reading. And I started, and I'm about halfway, can't really see that, about halfway through. I wanted to update you on my thoughts on Breathless so far. And the first 2 books I liked to varying degrees. And this was one where I was kind of taking a chance because I've never read anything by this author before. It is a thriller, but it's a thriller that's, set in the mountain climbing world, which is not something that I'm super familiar with, as it were. So taking a little bit of a chance that way as well. And I was curious kind of what I would think about it. So I will say the beginning of this is a little bit not slow. Slow isn't the right word, but it is definitely like you have to acclimate to the world a little bit. If you are unfamiliar with mountain climbing or the process of mountain climbing, you're gonna need some time to like understand the world a little bit, and that is what happened to me essentially. Like I needed some time to understand what was going on because there's a lot of terminology and things that I didn't. I mean, I could probably like use context clues to deduce, but a lot of them I didn't understand right away. So that was tough. And like there is a murder that happens pretty early on that then kind of sets the tone for the rest of the book, which I found really interesting. About halfway through, though, the woman who is writing this article about this climber, she's following this climber basically up this mountain to profile him for a magazine that she works for. And she is not a witness to the murder, but is aware of the person who was murdered, and then is trying to like not only do her job, but then also figure out what's going on. And they start by practicing and getting themselves ready to be up on the mountain and to be acclimated to the mountain. And so a lot of the first half is that, and they've where I started, they've just started climbing or like doing practice rounds to get themselves acclimated to the environment a little bit and to the lack of oxygen. So I will be curious where the second half goes and where it takes me. But I'm excited to finish it and see what it is. I do like it quite a bit so far. It's not like I'm not bored by it by any means. So I'll be curious. The thing that I think was the most interesting about this whole book is that the woman who wrote this, Amy McCulloch, is primarily a young adult and children's book author. And then it says she was the youngest Canadian woman to climb Manaslu in Nepal, and which is where the book is set. So much of her own experience has to be coming into play with the technical stuff. And so this is obviously like all of that stuff I can trust. I feel like I can trust really easily because she's done this, like she's experienced this. So I do trust her in that aspect of it at least. So yeah, my goal is to finish the rest of this in the next hour or two. And then I'll come back and report back. This is the last day of the vlog. So we've got a little bit of a big day planned. Well, not really a big day, a big evening. We are going to see Tori Amos tonight in Kansas City. So I am super excited because this is like my 6th or 7th time seeing her. David's never seen her before ever. So this will be a new experience for him. Last night, we spent some time watching some live performances so that he could feel like he was ready to see her live, which I thought was fun, but I don't know if you'll think it's fun, but so we'll take you along tonight a little bit. You can kind of see some of the footage. I won't be able to put anything like audio wise in because I don't want to get copyright struck, but we will show you some of that. And then my goal is to wrap up the vlog and tell you my thoughts on Breathless, and then kind of just do an overview of the books that I read this like weekend. So it's a holiday weekend, so it's a little bit longer than I had intended. But with my stopwatch, I haven't quite reached my 48 hours yet. So I think I'll actually come in under 48 hours, which will be kind of nice. So I'll check back soon. Bye.
Here's to the good days, here's to the sorrows. If this is a mistake, I know about tomorrow. I don't wanna fight no more, cause I don't feel the need no more, no. Just wanna make it stop. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter. It's too late not to let it go. And that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed first love, and you were my first one. Cheers to all the memories, the venom and the remedies, yeah. Promise I won't forget, yeah. Maybe it's something in the water, or maybe we just hit the end of the road. Right now it doesn't even matter. It's too late not to let it go. And that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, 'cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. So baby, bye. It's for the best and you know why. You gotta leave me here tonight before we make this even worse. It's gonna hurt even more than this does. We gave it all we had. It's time to say bye, baby, bye. I'll be, you'll be, yeah, we'll be fine. So let's call it a night, and that's why I wish you the best and say goodbye. You start to get dressed and then we cry, 'cause we both know it's gonna hurt, but not as much as this does. So baby, bye. It's for the best and you know why. You gotta leave me here right now before we make.
Well, hello. I'm back. Well, this is the very last of this reading vlog. I'm checking back in because I finished Breathless by Amy McCulloch this morning, my last book of this vlog, and I was kind of disappointed in this one. I think the premise is really cool, and I think a lot of the setups are really cool. It ended up actually being somewhat predictable, which I don't love. Like, I don't know. I'm not gonna put any. I'm not gonna do any spoilers here, but it's like once you kind of figure out what this is about and who it might be about, like you can kind of figure out who did it and why they did it pretty quickly. You know, I would recommend this if you like, you know, those claustrophobic, especially like athletic, mountainous, outdoor type of stories. I think it would be a great choice. But from a thriller perspective, like I wish there would have been more twists and turns. I wish it wouldn't have been as predictable to figure out what was happening. And I do wish that it was more, I don't know, just more fun. It wasn't fun. Like it felt like work to kind of get through it, which I didn't love, you know. This is a solid like C+, B- for me. If we're looking at like a grade, probably like a 3 out of 5 stars, maybe 2.5. Not bad, but definitely not the greatest thing I've ever read in my life. So. This has been fun. This has been a fun little 48 hours to kind of, you know, get all of these books jammed in there. So it's a great way, because this is, you know, obviously the start to my summer. It's a great way to start my summer. Happy to kick it off with some excellent reading. After I finished this, I went through and I grabbed all the books I wanted to read for my TBR in June. So I'll be excited to reveal those to you very soon. How did you enjoy this vlog? Let me know. How did you enjoy the reading? What did you think? Have you read these books? What did you think about these books? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, click the like button, subscribe, share the video with people if you haven't yet. We'd love to have more people along for the ride. And check out our Instagram. It's down below. It's shelf_possessed. And also you can check out my Storygraph and my Goodreads in the description box below. And come on back. We'll have another video for you very, very soon. So Thanks for coming. See you again.